We are live.
There he is.
Here he comes to save the day. My house. Hello.
We just started the camera.
Oh, you're in stage left here.
Get ready to do the pledge.
Good.
Okay, we'll call the March 31st special meeting of Cambridge City Town Council order. Start with the pledge of the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's no claims of minutes.
Okay. We'll call Gary.
Okay, Jim McLean,
Present.
Mike Amick.
Yep.
Debbie McGinley. Here. Gary Cole.
Present.
And Jim King is absent. We've got
No public hearing tonight, no guests.
Joe. No.
Go right to unfinished business. And the update on the new used trucks and equipment.
Interlocal agreement, haven't heard anything. You got that, right? Interlocal agreement.
On the lease on the dump truck.
We have one, but, don't we?
Oh.
Are we
lease
talking about the lease?
on
or we
the
talking
dump
about-
truck.
On the
Yeah.
bucket truck you're talking about,
I
right?
started with both. We do the lease.
Well, okay, sorry, you want to start with the bucket truck? Yeah.
That's probably easier to do.
Okay, that's the interlocal agreement, the second one, okay. Sure. We're gonna go out of order.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay, let's do that.
All right, so I'm sure, I think Hagerstown doesn't meet till next week, I
Monday,
think,
yeah.
so. But I understand they have agreed to this price.
I have not heard anything. I was told that I have not heard anything.
Their attorney said that this was acceptable, so at least he saw the agreement.
Okay,
Okay.
so we can vote to approve it as
Oh,
it
yes.
is.
And Dylan works tomorrow, so can I just give Dylan the copy because he's on their council?
That'd be fine.
Okay,
Okay, so I need a motion to approve this interlocal agreement with Hagerstown for purchase of a bucket truck.
I'll make that motion.
a second.
And we also need to talk about where those funds are coming from as part of that, probably.
Probably.
I think we did it one time, but
we
not if it's
said-
official.
Yeah. We,
Here's what we talked about.
it was,
Parks.
The money-
balance of the edit money, wasn't it? Talked
the
about.
money was, where you got your insurance check, that already came.
That's right, yes.
And then the rest was gonna come from the edit.
How much was the insurance check?
11,000,
207.
207. It was 12, but we had $1,000 deductible.
Yeah. Was 12,207.
37.90.
So we're less than $4,000.
Yeah.
Balance.
Yeah, which will come from the rest of your editing, right? I'm
All
sure.
right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the interlocal agreement with Hagerstown for purchase of the bucket truck for $15,000 with the funds coming from the insurance check as well as that. All in favor?
I
Aye. Opposed? That is approved and when you will sign.
Let's sign, you can sign this one, I'm gonna sign,
And you can go ahead and date it today, even though they don't sign it next week.
okay. You can?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It's just us, I think.
This is one.
Well, I don't think everybody else is
I
signing,
think
it's us, yeah.
And I would probably sign two of
Sign
them,
another one.
send them over, so each
This
party
one.
can keep an original.
Okay. and I'll
There you
sign
go.
that today.
Thank
Right,
you.
thank you. Here, you can-
All right, back to the dump truck. Thank you.
Okay, yes.
Yes, dump truck, lease payment, 5 years, 17,792.21.
17,792.21. Lease for 5
For
years.
5 years.
That's a yearly payment.
Yes.
5 years, and the last payment was $1, which we never had to pay the $1. We just paid the 5 years.
And I understand we own that at the end of that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which is
correct.
weird to
Just
see.
like-
What makes a lease different from a,
Well,
Well,
that's.
It's just part of the program. It's the same, it's the
the
exact
police-
program that Richard's used for the last
For-
23 years.
I don't know, I just don't understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why it's a lease.
Yeah, for a personal vehicle, you have to buy it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It's still owe.
It's just a different method of financing it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
all right, so that's another 17,007. And I know there was some discussion about the cemetery
Yes.
contributing, Debbie.
Yes, I asked all the members and all agreed, except one. And I have it on a text, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that. Did we actually vote on it at the last meeting? I was thinking you voted on it. or
Well,
just
we
discussed it.
talked about it.
I didn't
and-
know the price, and I think I said it'd be around 16,000, I think is what I told them.
Mhm.
When's your next meeting?
March.
Yeah.
Isn't it
No.
March? Is it February?
Barbecue March.
This is,
I ain't. I'm still on vacation.
Next year.
Yeah, March of next year. Is it June?
I think it's June.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't know,
I mean, we could have a special meeting now that we know an exact number.
and that's what the one
Because I'd
was
asked,
saying.
I'd asked Debbie, I knew they talked about it. I said,
Yeah.
is there any chance they just pay for the first year
mhm.
since it's just a little more?
Well, they all know how
So-
much it is, and, they all agreed to it, like I said, except for one, so,
So would we need like a document?
yeah,
Or
what
could
do
they
we
come
need?
here and sign it? Or do we need it to be a motion and in the minutes?
Ideally, you really need to have a meeting to approve.
Okay. So you need to call a
Okay.
special meeting.
So what we could do is have a motion to approve it pending their approval for the first year's payment.
You could.
And that way it wouldn't hold it up anymore,
Yeah.
just until.
Because otherwise, we don't
Yeah,
have funding
But
for
you
that.
haven't ordered it or anything yet,
Oh,
right?
no, no. And we're talking 3 to 5 months before we would get it.
Oh, really, that long?
Oh, yeah, they're
I
that
mean,
backed
it's-
up.
For winter, we'll get it
Yeah,
for next snowplow season.
You're pretty certain it's gonna pass.
90 to
right?
100 days
I mean,
is what he
pretty
told
certain.
me
So
when he sent me this price for the lease.
do we have to put money down?
No, we don't, that does not do until we take delivery.
So could he go ahead and order it?
Can you order it without money?
Yeah, because they'll get all the paperwork together and send it to me. But it'll be before June, I'm sure that I'll have paperwork.
Well, why
For the
don't we,
lease.
why don't we take a motion to purchase it pending the cemetery board's approval?
Yeah.
And then once that's done,
Then the April
You can
meeting,
go
we
ahead
can
and
come back,
order.
maybe if you guys got a special meeting, we can come back and then say yes to it and go ahead and have it ordered.
Well, I don't think, no, if you approve it tonight, subject to their approval, the minute they give approval, it's done.
It's
You don't have to
done,
vote
yeah, you
again.
don't have to.
Oh, okay, yeah. They don't have to bring it back to us
No.
or anything like that.
then
Okay,
it's just a matter of, once Joe hears from you, the cemetery board, you can go ahead.
He's on
This is
Yeah.
being approved contingent upon the first payment being made by the cemetery. And so once the cemetery says yes, that's approved.
then it's approved and we're good to go. Okay,
So is that the motion somebody's made?
you make the motion.
Yeah.
Your motion.
That's right. You're
I'll make
president.
that motion.
I'll second. it.
I'll second it, I'm on there too. Okay, so we got money.
You made the motion?
I did.
All right, so we have a motion, a second, to purchase the dump truck, at least via lease of 5 years, $17,792.21, contingent on the cemetery board paying the first year's payment.
That's it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good deal. Then the next thing up is the contract with Baker Tilly. Now, if you recall, last meeting, we approved the contract with them to do the rate study. So that part is done. This is regarding the financing of being the financial advisor for the rest of the funds for the water tower. Did I say that right, Tom?
I think so.
Okay.
So they're gonna go out and procure And a
They
quote or
will
something from us
participate.
from different
Yes.
people and then go through that process for us.
Yeah, and part of that is the new loan we're pursuing at zero interest, with RMC.
Is that still in the works then? I mean, it
It
was
is.
last time we talked, but
It is still in the works and,
And it's not-
unfortunately, we missed this round, but it's a quarterly round, so it's up again in June. So we can still apply for it then. So with them coming on board, they can make that part of the whole financing package. The good news is what I just found out, I didn't realize, RAMC actually acts as the grant administrator, or they pay for the grant, so there's no charge for a grant administrator to get it either. So basically, RMC gets the loan and then forwards it on to us.
Then how do we pay them back?
We have to pay RMC.
So we would have a monthly payment to them as well?
But that would reduce
it
the
would
amount.
reduce the 2.4
It reduces
million
the
dollar loan to
2.4.
1.4 million, and then we'd have no interest on that.
Right, and now, part of Baker Tilly, he's gonna see if that all makes sense, right?
Right.
Because they'll know better than I will.
Can it all be brought in under that 4-month gap window we've got at the end of this,
Right.
which we can't take up 4 months of that. We can take up a month of it maybe, of that window.
No, yeah, we gotta get him,
Yeah, or we're gonna, we'll lose.
yeah. So, and, in talking with Adam, he said, it's kind of standard to get to this point, you need a financial advisor to do this, so. And I understand, I think some of the payment can actually come as part of the project.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So,
So it'll be rolled into the financing piece, or how would that work? And
it's just part of the, yeah,
it would be rolled into
Yeah.
the financing of the whole.
Yeah.
It would be part of the whole.
right.
Yeah, that's part of the soft cost of the whole project.
Part of the
So-
soft cost, yeah. Now, the contract, he did take out the portions that Bob asked about and said they didn't apply. I did talk to him about, it was a hard $76,000, and I said, well, you took some stuff out, and, his comment was, well, really, we do most of the work regardless. And I said, well, can you at least change that to not to exceed, so that if you don't use all that, we can save a little bit of money there. So he did change it to not to exceed that amount instead of
Where's that at on the page?
on page, SAP.
And he did leave me a message, yesterday about getting together to start working on the rate study. So we haven't started that yet.
He's on vacation.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I did send them.
So what we're looking for is a motion to accept this contract with Baker Tilly to do the financial advising on the project.
Did he say whether there was gonna be any pushback from any of the lenders over the dropping that loan from 2.4 million to
That's
1.4 million?
what we don't know. That'll be part of what he figures out. When he was here, he said there might be pushback from SRF, but Adam feels like SRF probably doesn't want to loan us the money anyway, but he thinks we're more likely to go with a bond or
The rural water.
But
I think-
part of his, we'll see if there's pushback and how we can make it all work together.
Regardless of that, when this whole thing started, what we were sold on this whole project was that people who pay the industrial rate, which is actually the Gateway Industrial Park, would fund this project. That would come from rate increases up there to fund this project. I just want to make sure everybody here is on board with the idea that if we move forward with this, that the rate increase at for the industrial customers that we have will cover the principal and interest of this loan.
Well, I don't think anybody's expecting your town.
No,
To cover any of the principal or the interest. Yeah, I just want to make sure that, because
No.
I'm looking at,
I don't think anybody
I'm
wants
looking
that.
at rates and percentages, and I'm thinking there might be some people not incredibly happy with what that's gonna work out to.
To the contrary, I think we have made it clear through that agreement with the county that's now been approved is just the reverse. And that is that we're going to be able to have the ability to utilize some of the industrial park revenue to supplement the town. more
Right.
so than the town ever supplemented the
Yeah.
master park.
Because we totally need that,
Yeah.
yeah. We do need it.
Right. I still don't see it as supplementing or it's one company.
Yeah, I got
It all
Right.
comes into one pot. So,
No, but you were worried about what the impact, I think I remember hearing you say you didn't want the town people to think that any rate increase for them was gonna go help this project,
Yes.
and it's
Right.
not.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying, the actual reverse is what will happen.
So they will, that will help.
I just want to make sure when we settle on a rate, that we are,
And that's,
that we are
that's
correct.
what,
That's all I'm saying, is I just want to make sure that when we do settle on a rate, because we're gonna have to at some point here.
Yeah.
That works out to that.
We all know that we gotta raise rates in town.
Yeah,
know
we do.
that,
We
but
have to
not-
raise rates in town to
but not-
cover.
That,
Yeah, our
to
own
cover the
expenses
town.
and our own
Exactly,
problems.
yeah, we know that.
I just want to make sure that whatever that dollar figure is every year, that we're paying on that.
Mhm.
It's not going to pay for that. It's just that we're getting enough from there to cover that.
Yeah.
That's all.
So I'll still have the SRF loan that we have, the $25,000 a month from previous. I'll still have that payment, because that's not gonna roll into any of this, right? So we'll have that $25,000, then we're gonna have the REMC loan, and then we're gonna have this new loan.
But the RNG loan and the new loan will be equivalent or somewhat less, hopefully, than what just the new loan by itself was gonna be at 2.4 million.
Should-
So,
should-
Yeah, so that's
yeah, so-
interest free, it should.
yeah, and we're almost getting enough money on saving of interest out of that if he gets that done to pay for his contract.
That's exactly right.
okay. So
You don't have a motion yet.
is there a motion to approve this contract?
Yep, I'll make it.
My belly just growled, you hear that?
My village girl.
I'll second the motion.
My head is
Thank you.
too.
We have a motion, a second, to approve the contract with Baker Tilly. Not to exceed $76,000 for the financial.
Consultation.
Yes, thank you. For the water tower project. All in favor? Opposed?
Gary, did you say that? Gary?
Has to
Thank you.
be done.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
We don't even know where we are unless this is done.
No.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
that's
find out
true.
where this is,
That's
then
true, yeah.
decisions will be made.
Yeah, right.
75 grand for.
We're on our way now, aren't we?
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, like Mike said, it depends on the rates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's the all telling factor, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Okay.
I just wanted to get that in there.
Yes.
One last time.
One last time, it's okay, you can do it again. You can say it every time. if you
I
want.
will do it every time.
Next up is a new hire of a temporary employee. Joe, you want to talk about?
Steve, he's interested in coming back, wants to come back, for what he was at last year, 32 hours, 15 an hour. He is a good worker. He gets stuff done and don't have to be on him. He gets down there and gets it done, comes in, gets straight to it, and he understands where I'm coming from and where he needs to be.
No, Steve.
Steve should come.
K-O-H-N-E. And you also said you were gonna use him, I was telling Bob that we were gonna pay some out of water as well, because you were gonna use him for stuff.
Yeah, if,
I don't wanna
Like
say
if we
that.
have a lead or something like that, you can get all hands on deck kind of a
Yeah,
call.
and he would be a good.
That's a good idea.
Because he's reliable.
I would like to keep him also
Through the winter.
through the winter. If we need him, we can call him in, help push snow to that effect.
Does our salary ordinance talk about part-time people, where it comes from?
Yes.
Cost payment?
Uh-huh.
So I think you just need to follow
I
that.
just need because, we have Ken and Ryan paid strictly out of water. They don't get the NVH or the general. So our part-time isn't paid out of water though. It's cemetery park and NVH.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, and our salary ordinance is then.
yeah, our salary ordinance it says that. It says.
Yes, that's right, because our salary ordinance wouldn't deal with water funds.
I thought I made a copy of it. So it says, 80%, so the pay scale, let's see. Part-time. 80% coming from general, 60 and 20, so it's park and cemetery, and then the other 20% from MBH. The only exception to this allocation shall be the part-time office help who is 100% water, yeah. And she's now full-time. That
We'd have to
was,
pay it that way unless we change those salary ordinance, right?
Well, that's only for people who are getting paid through tax money. If you are doing some water, what you need to just adjust, say is that of this guy, how much will be paid out of that salary ordinance and how much will be paid out of water?
okay,
Because your water employees are not part of that salary.
so, how much do you think he would be paid out of water? If I'm using for 40%,
Depends on how many lines break.
40%, 25%, 30%? 50?
It won't be very often. It'll just be a have to, maybe 25%.
Okay, so.
If that.
Okay, so
So
I,
25% would be out of water, and then that other 75% would be split, just like for the salary ordinance.
okay, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
maybe if we approve the hiring.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
That's all I said.
Yeah, right.
It's a good discussion.
So with Steve bringing him back in,
I don't mean to slow you down.
They don't write that check yet.
Yeah.
All right, so we need that in a form of a motion then to hire this guy at $15 an hour. And then those percentages, is that correct, Bob?
I'll make a motion, we hire Steve temporary, $15 an hour.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to hire Steve Crum as a temporary employee, $15 an hour with 25% of that
Water.
coming out of the water fund. All in favor?
Aye.
Time.
Opposed? That is passed.
Good.
And that covers the agenda unless somebody has anything else.
The trash, we got the refund on the trash.
Oh,
So,
And Sharon and I did talk about that, and I don't think there is quite the limit that she thought we can use that to apply to something. if you will.
okay.
yeah,
So
It's a
we
good
can talk
idea.
about that at the next meeting or something.
okay, so I'll put it on the agenda.
Okay,
So I'm gonna just leave it, receipt it in trash since it's today, last day of the month. And I can close out my books for March then.
If you can easily transfer it out later on if you want to use it.
What, could I just pay whatever out of that?
What you know what you want to use it for.
Yeah.
now.
I mean, I could, not today, but I mean, we could, it'll be in there in the totals. And then when you're ready to pay out of it, then I just will write a check and take it out of that trash. That makes sense, Bob?
unless there'll be questions somehow.
Should I move it
I
into
think
rainy day? I could move it in, well, that'd probably be easier to do, but
Yeah, I think it's gonna be easier if it does. Once it goes into the trash fund, it
Yeah.
might be hard to bring out then.
you're right. So then maybe, I don't know, I just put it into the rainy day.
Rainy day, because
Rainy
that can be easily transferred
Yeah.
to any other account you need.
Yeah,
That's what I'll do. Okay. I'll change that.
okay. Anything else? No? Nope.
Wait, Bob, did you have your closing yet with, I know
No,
you
since I
just
just
got
now got
back. Yeah. Okay,
We
so he
decided
had
to-
called me and was asking, and I told him that you were on vacation.
And I've been on
Okay,
vacation.
that's what I told him, he was on vacation. Just want to make sure. That's all I got, nothing else.
We adjourn.
Did we have a motion?
I gave him a nod. I gave him a nod.
We got one, yeah.
I heard a motion and a second.
Yeah. Cool. I like these fast meetings.
Those were sweet.
Yes. So did,
The Blue House sounds like there
Wait till
might be
we go
something
offline.
happening